Right? Okay, topping is a little floppy, but the flavor is really good. Hey everybody, it's Amanda, and I am at the stove, but I'm actually about to make a pie, a coconut rum cream pie, and I'm adding coconut, which is going to be part of the crust. It's a gluten-free vegan version of the pie, and if you have a nonstick pan, go ahead and use it, but I'm using a cast iron, and I'm going to just lightly toast the coconut, which goes, if you've ever done this on the stovetop, you will know, it goes from being completely untoasted to burnt in about 5 seconds. So I'm going to keep a close eye on it, and then I'm going to pull it off the heat, and we're going to make the crust using the food processor. And it's starting to turn pretty quickly now. So I'm going to keep it moving. You're just basically kind of drawing out the nutty flavors in the coconut. And I'm going to pour it back in here so that it stops cooking. All right, it is time to put the crust together, and it's a nice easy one. These are Biscoff cookies, these guys. And you just want to stick them in a food processor with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Whoops. Try to keep your food processor in one plate at least. Okay. Ours, you have to just hang out and hold it down. Otherwise it won't work. All right, now I'm gonna toss in the coconut that we just toasted. I'm just doing it until there's no longer big chunks. Okay, all right, then I am adding vegan butter, which has been melted. And you can use regular butter if you'd like, but we are going all in on the vegan. And I'm just gonna pulse this until it starts to hold together when pinched. Okay, sorry, this is like falling into 8 different parts every time I touch it, this machine. Okay, so it's just barely holding together, which I think is great. I'm gonna call it. And then we're going to press it into this Pyrex pie dish. You can use whatever kind of pie dish you like. It's a 9-inch, I think. Boop-a-doop-boop. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try this method that the recipe calls for, which I've read in other recipes, but I've never tried myself, which is to use the bottom of a measuring cup. I'm using a 1/2 cup to press it in, and that's not working because it's sticking to the measuring cup. All right, I'm gonna go back to my normal hand method. So I'm gonna spread it around, and I'm gonna start by pressing in the base. It's nice because it has because of the coconut, it has this nice kind of coarse texture, which I think once it's baked is gonna be super nice. All right, so we've got the oven heating to 350, by the way. Bake for 12 minutes or until the crust darkens slightly in color. It's already pretty dark, so let's see what that looks like. Try to get the base even so you don't have also like super thick corners. So I like to go around and press it like that. Okay, there we go. Whoop, it's gonna go in the oven, and I'll be back once it's out. Oh, whoa, this, don't, well, I just know it's going. I just, but I tilted it, it started sliding out of the pan. So don't take it out of the oven and tilt it. Just take it out of the oven and put it on a rack. I'm gonna let it cool for about an hour. And then we're gonna make the custard and chill it. And then we're gonna chill it for 7 hours and then add the topping. So it's a little bit of a multi-stage process, but you can do lots of things in between. Hey, it's time to make the custard. So I'm gonna put a saucepan over low heat, and I am going to add, let's see here, I've got coconut beverage, a 1/2 cup. Pour that in, and I have 1 can of coconut milk. Pour that in, and then I'm going to add some sugar Add some sugar. And then I've got some cornstarch. And, well, the main ingredient, rum, which we don't have. So it didn't come with our grocery order, and so we were scrounging around, and it turns out that this aged tequila, while it does not taste like rum, it does actually have a nice sort of buttery aroma, like an aged rum. And I tasted it, and it was delicious. So I'm gonna add, it says the recipe calls for 2 to 4 tablespoons. So I'm gonna add 3, just to, whoop, or a little bit more than 3, just to give it a nice little oomph. And I will report back about whether a tequila cream pie is a good way to go. All right, so I'm whisking this just to get the cornstarch dissolved in the mixture, and I'm gonna have this over low heat. And I'm going to bring it to a low boil. Actually, it says over medium-high heat, so I'm turning the heat up again. And I'm going to whisk this until it thickens. And it's starting to thicken right away. And once it starts thickening, I'm going to cook it for 2 minutes. And it should be like a loose, like a runny pudding. I'm gonna come back. Okay, as you can see, this is nice and thick, definitely like a runny pudding. And I am going to whisk in some shredded coconut. Yum. I like this recipe has just layers and layers of coconut. Coconut milk, coconut cream. And I will tell you that we may have invented something new. Turns out a aged tequila coconut cream smells really good. All right, I'm gonna pour this into the cold crust. All right, I'm gonna do that here. Here is the cooled crust. Now, just pour that in. That looks nice, right? I have to say, I don't really know why you have to totally cool the crust, because you're pouring a hot liquid into it. So does it really matter? I think not. But it gave me time to do something else in between steps. So I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap, press it onto the surface of the pie, and then I'm gonna chill it for 7 hours, which means I'm actually gonna chill it probably overnight and finish this tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow. Hey there, I'm back 2 days later, or maybe 3, but the pie has chilled very nicely in the fridge, and now we're gonna make the whipped cream topping. And the whipped cream is made with coconut milk, 2 cans, which I have chilled in the fridge so that the coconut cream chills and hardens on the top. We're gonna see if that happened right now, and hopefully it's going to be easy to remove. And, oh yeah. All right. Okay, now, how do I get this out of here? All right, so I'm just gonna lift it off into my mixing bowl. Here we go. No, no. Don't emulsify in there. Okay, I think I have to do this with a spoon to get it in kind of one more, or sort of bigger lumps, because you don't want the liquidy stuff. I'm a little worried, but we're gonna march forth and just know that it's all gonna be okay. All right, let's try this again. I have 2 cans to perfect my coconut skimming. Okay, here we go. Oh, spoon. That's the way to go. And now we are gonna hope for the best as I try to whip this up into a fluffy whipped cream. Now, the recipe also calls for confectioner sugar, which we don't have, so I'm just gonna use regular sugar. We're gonna see how that goes. Now, you're also supposed to use a hand mixer, and technically we have one, but I was feeling kind of lazy about getting it out of the drawer, so I'm gonna see if I can do this by hand. That's kind of whipping, sort of. Okay, I'm gonna stop and come back. I'm still here whipping the coconut cream. I'm gonna add my 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, it's really humid out here, so everything clumps. Okay, I'm gonna try to get to unclumpy tablespoons of sugar. And then I'm gonna keep whipping very patiently. I'm gonna come back when I'm done. Genevieve has just saved the day and has told me that because I'm whipping it so much, it's actually heating up the fats and therefore is going to lose body. So I'm going to stick this in on her recommendation to put this in the freezer for a few minutes to cool it down so that I then can whip it up again and it'll hold stiffer peaks.
It's going to be beautiful.
Okay. Okay, so the coconut cream has been chilled. Now we're going to hope that it decides to whip to stiff peaks, but not on my shirt. See, I think that's getting there. Can I call this? Can I call it? Okay, all right. You know, I'm not gonna, so you're normally supposed to put rum in. This would have been tequila because we're using tequila, but I'm not gonna add it because I think it's going to make this too soft. So first I'm gonna wipe off my shirt and then, you ready, Walks? I have my teenage assistant here.
Yeah.
You know, I literally need to move the camera because I have to make sure your head's gonna fit in it. Okay, here we go. Go like that. This is not, well, it's okay. It's gonna be more of a spreader. Okay, you wanna spread, here, you wanna pour and spread?
Sure.
Okay, you can, here, you do the spreading, that's more fun. I'll do the pouring. Okay, there you go.
Let's do that.
Yes, this is, woo, here we go. There you go, and just spread it to the edges. Make it look nice. There you go. Oh, I'm gonna scrape that out. All right, so then just pull it to the edges. Oh, that looks so good. Ooh, yummy. Okay, we're gonna taste this later at dinner time. So we'll see you then. Seems like it's coming out fairly cleanly. There we go. Right. Okay, the topping is a little floppy, but the flavor is really good. So, thumbs up on the coconut aged tequila cream pie. I'll see you next week.